everyone, and welcome to a Lab Gab special at SL20B. I'm your host, Strawberry Linden, and I'm here at the beautiful SL20B Arboretum celebrating Second Life's 20th birthday with our VP of Product, Grumpity Linden, and our VP of Engineering, Mojo Linden. Hi, Grumpity and Mojo. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Strawberry. It's a
Hi,
pleasure to be
Strawberry.
here.
You guys look fantastic. I love what you're wearing, Grumpity. Really cute.
Thank you.
I have a lot of questions that have come in from the community, and I will try my best to cover as many as I can. But before we get into the questions, I'd like to give you both an opportunity to briefly introduce yourselves to the viewers. Please tell us how long you've been at Linden Lab and what is your role here. And Grumpity, why don't you go first?
All right. It's kind of hard for me to say how long I've been here because I started out as a contractor,
Right.
and it's been 14 years since that happened. Almost 15 years.
Wow.
And then I became a Linden 8 years ago. And it's been a wild ride. I can't imagine being anywhere else.
We can't imagine you anywhere else either. And how about you, Mojo?
Well, I'm a baby comparatively. I've been here 2 years, and they've been an amazing 2 years as the VP of Engineering, and it has been amazing.
It's been amazing having you. We're seeing a lot of great changes happening, and it's just also exciting. So, of course, the first question I have to ask is about SL20B, since we're right here. Have you had a chance to check it out? And if so, what are your favorite exhibits and areas?
Just kidding. This question is totally a plant. We are actually recording this show
Right.
before SLB opens, and so we haven't been able to check everything out. I'm really looking forward to it. My personal favorite perennially is the pod car tours because I get to sit back and kind of just take everything in before I figure out where to go. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. What's your favorite exhibit, Mojo?
Well, I also haven't been to SLB. And while I can't tell you what my favorite exhibit at SLB is, I can tell you that the Moton event that we launched was just amazing. Love the energy, the music. Oh my God, it was such a great event. So
was
it's
fun.
exciting. And if we can keep that energy going in SLB, it's just going to be mind blowing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time. Okay, so now for the actual questions. Let's start with the basics. The community is always curious about what is happening to help improve Second Life performance. What performance improvements have you been working on over the last year, and what can we expect in the near future?
Wow. Well, performance is something that I've been looking at for the last 2 years, and we continue to focus on. What's awesome is that we have more things to deliver. We have the PBR, the physical based rendering viewer, in our scene now. Okay. Now, along with a lot of features that, and the new materials and everything, it actually has a lot of really key performance improvements. Along with that, it removes the limit on the amount of memory, the video memory, that Second Life can utilize when running Windows. And this means that we're able to see many more textures at a distance, and you have much fewer and less frequent textures resing. So I think that's a key improvement that people will welcome. Now, we do have other projects on the performance front. We hope to improve our backend performance. We're actually trying to move our backend simulator to a 64-bit process, and we have hopes that that actually will improve simulator performance. So those are two key things that we're working on.
I love it. I have to tell you, it's one of my favorite parts about the PBR RC. There's no more texture thrashing, and it's just amazing. The frame rates and everything are so much better as well. I'm really looking forward to the final release. So next question, it's no secret that Second Life, as a 20-year-old platform, has some technical debt, which means that you have to deal with both legacy code and complex considerations when you make any changes to the Second Life platform. What are the key challenges here, and how does this shape your strategy for improving Second Life? Grumpity, you want to go first?
Sure. First, I kind of want to say that it's a problem we have only because Second Life has been around and is a product that's been relevant and growing for the last 20 years. So yes, it presents some unique challenges, but it's certainly for all the right reasons, right, Mojo?
Absolutely. Indeed, it's very challenging to keep a 20-year-old code base current. And really, it's a balancing act where we want to focus resources on innovation, bringing new features to residents, but we almost also really have to pay equal effort into maintaining and upgrading systems so that we can work in more modern ways. And so it's a constant
Yeah.
battle, I guess, but it's a remarkable achievement for sure.
Sure, and probably learn a lot in the same process. So now a big topic that the community would love to hear you address is the 2023 product roadmap. What cool new stuff can we expect in the coming year?
Wow.
Yay!
Mobile.
Yay!
I mean, obviously, it's not the only thing we're working on, but it's one that we're very excited about. Also, and it's funny recording this before a lot of the things have rolled out, but you're going to be seeing quite a few of the things we've been working on coming out during SLB. The Welcome Hub has already launched. The Motown partnership has already launched. You've seen Social Casino. There's always something going on with Linden Homes. Second Lifetime. New user experience updates are coming really soon with new starter avatars and the customization process. And then there's going to be work to connect that with avatar customization in the viewer later in the year. We are working on the land ownership journey, and there's some additional updates to that rolling out on the web really soon. Marketplace improvements and making the marketplace mobile responsive. There are going to be more updates to the destination guide.
Yay!
In addition to all this, you would think we have a team of like 1,000 people, right?
Right.
In addition to that, we do a lot of back-end work that you don't end up seeing, like a lot of database upgrades and billing system improvements, and all of the challenges of keeping a 20-year-old code base current that Mojo just talked about. They all take quite a bit of our time and resource to keep the platform running for you to be able to enjoy it.
Right. So, I mean, all of that sounds amazing, but at the top of your list was the forthcoming mobile viewer, which is very exciting. It's for me, I'm really excited for that. So is there anything specific that you want to elaborate on? I hear that there may be a new developer update video that you are ready to share. Can we get a look at that now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the video now.
Hello again. I'm Grumpity Linden, VP of Product, and I'm here to give you an update on our progress in work on the mobile viewer. It feels like it was just a couple of weeks ago when we first shared the news of our mobile viewer development, but it turns out it's been a quarter. We've been busy, and we're excited to give you an update. Last time we shared some beautiful views of Second Life and our avatars in all their glory. A lot of work since then has actually gone into making these more stable, load faster, behave more predictably. We've spent a lot of time making sure that more of the endless variety of Second Life avatars look good, as well as we've, of course, been working on some of the UI and adding a few more features. I wanted to give you a bit of a UI overview. Of course, it's still evolving and changing, and so what you see later may be different than what we show you today. The overall principle is the same, though. We wanted to keep as much of the world visible as possible and not interfere with the immersive experience. So we start out with this really minimal interface, and all of your actions live here in the little hamburger menu. You can talk to friends, you can see your groups and all the different group chats, you can see who's online, choose where to go, explore details about a place, and teleport there. Navigation is done via the joystick, and that appears only when you need it. A lot more features are coming in the next couple of quarters as we work our way towards a beta, and there's still so much more to come. Mojo, over to you to tell us more about the details of the work happening under the hood to make this look so good.
Thanks, Grumpity. There are a lot of changes and improvements under the hood in our latest build.
In particular, the team has made many optimizations to deal with the very large and complex scenes with many thousands of objects. Our previous builds didn't unload objects at all. This would cause our builds to stop loading new objects when we ran out of memory, often before we even loaded a full region. We built a new content management system which prioritized loading and unloading of assets to solve the problem. We experimented a lot with different compression and cache formats to improve the overall time to teleport to new regions and be able to see your environment loaded. Exploring new areas is a big challenge as assets have to be converted from Second Life formats to ones more native to mobile devices, and that can take some time. What also makes this particularly challenging is that Second Life content is dynamic, so it can change at a moment's notice, and our Second Life mobile app has to behave reasonably. A lot of time has gone into optimizing the rendering performance. We've gone back and forth on how to deal with transparency with different trade-offs using different techniques. We've also tailored things like draw distance and enabling shadows based on the capabilities of the device. Along with optimizations, the engineering team has been working on rendering accuracy for avatars and environments, and of course, plumbing in a new UI. And that's the summary from engineering. Over to you, Patch.
Thanks, Mojo. Hi everyone, Patch Linden here. I wanted to take a moment to speak to where I think the mobile app is going to really make a difference for our connectedness in our virtual world. Imagine at some point in the future where you can explore stunning Second Life experiences, connect with communities, friends, and family you may have within Second Life, all from the convenience of your mobile device. I love that I can already chat not only locally in world at a location I visited, but I can also IM with people and teleport around and visit various places I like. Near or far, chat, mingle, and immerse yourself in those experiences at any time. Whether you're attending live events, dancing the night away at a club, or exploring art galleries, the Second Life mobile app will empower you to be there whenever you like. Can you imagine being able to attend virtual lectures or lessons from an educational institution? How about being able to run your virtual business from anywhere in the world? I see the mobile app as being able to further our ability to connect to Second Life, everyone, and everything within it. I cannot wait to see even more features and capabilities as we progress with development of the mobile app. I am, for one, looking forward to being able to go shopping and working on my avatar's appearance. Because, of course, who doesn't love shopping, right? Here we find ourselves standing in front of some sort of homes, it looks like. Wonder what theme this is.
Yay! Woo! Wow, that was so exciting and it is great to see the mobile viewer making such steady progress. Of course, the big question is, when can we see it? I'm sure the community is eager to check it out.
Well, we hope to have a private beta out this year, with a more public release in the first half of next year. As we progress, we're eager to give residents a periodic sneak peek of our progress, so we'll certainly have more videos to share.
So let's go on to the next question. How about paid memberships, such as Plus, Premium, and Premium Plus? You rolled out the new Premium Plus and Plus tiers in the last year. Is there anything else we can expect? And what's this I hear about a limited edition Second Lifetime plan?
Well, we've been doing so well with rolling out new membership types. We figured we'd just keep printing one every 3 months or so.
Right.
No, actually, strike that. Just kidding. I think what we were looking for was a good balance to offer residents options for a subscription package that works for them, but we don't want to have like this overabundance of choice either. And what we're seeing is it seems like there's a balance and it's working pretty well for our community and it's seen a lot of engagement.
Mm-hmm.
However, 20 years is a really long time, right? It's a lifetime, in fact. And so we wanted to do something special for the 20th birthday. And we came up with a very limited edition Second Lifetime and Second Lifetime Premium and Premium Plus offerings. There are only going to be 20 Second Lifetime Premium Plus and 200 Second Lifetime Premium memberships. They can only be acquired through a support ticket, and all of the information can be found in the comments.
Wonderful. Sounds exciting. Um, so the next topic is about social casino. Let's talk about that. We recently launched it, and it took many in the community by surprise. Where did that idea come from, and what do you expect to see happen with the social casino in the coming year?
So our immediate goal with the casino has always been to give residents opportunities for engagement and entertainment, right?
Right.
We are a virtual world for grown-ups. One of the things grown-ups seem to enjoy doing is playing social casino games. And we were looking for ways to make this possible on our platform in a legal and appropriate way. So in order to build out this program and figure out what we can do, we worked with legal, we worked with various teams, and we saw an opportunity to build out this program ourselves, figure out all the details, and then hand it off to residents to run social casinos themselves, which is really our long-term goal for the project.
Oh, okay.
When Mojo joined the lab, we really saw an opportunity to build this out. Mojo?
Yeah, no, I was really happy to hear about interest in the subject, and it's really something that I pitched to the rest of the leadership team, and mainly because of my previous background working for Double Down and IGT.
Mm.
Now, as far as, because you also asked, what's happening in the coming year, and for this year, we're really looking to add things to do with people's chips. We're looking to present people with prizes, to have leaderboards. You can think of having a prize counter where you can exchange your chips for no copy, no transfer type prizes. And also, we want to add more game types, a lot more variety of games to the casinos. That's kind of what's happening for the future this year.
Interesting. Looking forward to seeing the prizes. So that brings me to actually another recent surprise project, which is the Community Hub, which just launched this month. What can you tell us about this project, and is it something that will continue to evolve in the future?
The hub has been such a labor of love from
Yeah.
multiple teams working together and trying to bring together both a new user onboarding experience and a community place for coming together and an opportunity to experience events and try out little bits of the things that are available in Second Life. And um, I think it is a fantastic start. I'm very proud of what we have today, and there are definitely plans to evolve this, of course. I suspect that there are going to be other lab gabs that will spend a bit more time talking about the plans for the community hub, but it's just been such a joy to see this come together and a lot of
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. And it's beautiful, I have to say. It's really well done. Patch's team really did well with that. So, on that topic, can you tell us more about the new user experience and all the updates that you're working on?
I would love to. There are some that I'm happy to talk about now, and others that are still baking.
Mhm.
Um, but we are looking forward to putting out a new avatar customization flow with the new mesh avatars. Um, that is going to be customizable on the web during the join flow. And then all of these new mesh avatars and the content that comes with them that they could be dressed with immediately will be available in the library to all. So you don't need to create alts to get this new avatar. You can just go in the library and get it when it's there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to give residents more opportunities to play with these bodies, and the dev kit for these is also going to be released, of course, so that there are plenty of opportunities for creators and for shoppers to work with these avatars. Of course, we're then going to want to extend this experience into the viewer. So that the ease of avatar customization can be experienced not just on the web, but in the viewer as well. We all know there's a challenge learning how to make your avatar look beautiful
Right.
in SL, and it's both a point of frustration and a point of pride for us all. And we'd like to make this this hill a little less steep to climb.
Yes. I always say we have the best looking avatars in the metaverse. So
We sure do.
love it. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my absolutely favorite topic. How will PBR affect the current practice of baked skin shading highlights, and when is the GLTF PBR viewer being released?
Okay, 2 parts there.
Yeah.
The first about the baked skin shading highlights. We actually, if you're going to be using PBR materials, we actually don't recommend baking shading and highlights into your color map. If you want to do that kind of shading, we do have our legacy materials, and they work great for that. For PBR, you can bake ambient occlusion into the ambient occlusion map, but you really should never bake lighting or of any kind into the color maps. And so, that they don't play well together. And thankfully, we still have the kind of the legacy materials to allow that practice. Now, as far as the PBR viewer, it's exciting. It's
Yes.
in RC. It is
Yes.
in RC, so we're very close. You can download it now and play with it. It opens up a whole new class of materials and new workflows from tools like Substance Painter to generate those materials. Since it's a change to our lighting model, we want to give it a good amount of time in RC and make sure we're gathering as many of the unknown bugs that have yet to be reported and seeing if we should fix them before we give it to a broad audience. But that said, our plans are to release it very, very soon.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm already using the PBR RC. I love it. So I'm looking forward to the full release. Okay, my next question is about VR. Do you plan to implement support for Apple Vision Pro virtual glasses in Second Life, and is direct cooperation with Apple in this area possible?
Well, I'm going to take this as a generic question about VR in general, and
Okay.
I'll say that VR is on our radar, and we have several enthusiasts among our engineering team playing with it.
Oh, okay, great.
Now, the path we're taking to get to VR is to improve our graphics overall and take steps in getting there. Performance obviously is a key factor. You need really good frame rate in VR, otherwise you get sick and stuff like that. The initial thinking that we have is, because creating UIs in VR is a very difficult problem. So we're just looking at some way of being able to explore the world in VR, looking around without UI. No timeline on anything. I'm just saying, yes, we're excited about VR too. There's no particular plans for any partnerships with Apple at this time, but just know that the lab is interested.
Well, that's good to know. So I did get a lot of questions from the community about AI. So I'll I kind of mashed a few of them together. Will ChatGPT take any jobs away at Linden Lab? And do you anticipate using customer data from Second Life in an LLM to train your own open AI in any fashion? Mojo?
Well, yeah. First, let me take the first part of that question. I certainly see the power in leveraging AI technology to make engineering much more productive. I don't see it taking away jobs at the lab, but really allowing us to do more with our existing workforce. In fact, we have engineers right now leveraging these large language models, things such as Copilot and ChatGPT to aid in development and testing as it is now. The Grumpy, you want to take the second part of this question at all, or?
I just wanted to touch on part of this that was perhaps a little bit playful. Customer data is, of course, highly regulated by a patchwork of laws, but nonetheless regulated. Not to mention that we have a long-standing and very serious commitment in the lab to protect customer data. So we're very thoughtful in all of the approaches that we're discussing and kind of playing with in protecting customer data and not just feeding it into an LLM for experimentation. It's been, kind of exciting and frustrating to watch us struggle with how we can leverage this technology at the same time as protect our gold mine, because it's not really ours, it's our customers' data.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing planned right now, but definitely keeping it in mind. Another question I had was, when are you going to update the inventory?
Aha. Well, I like this question. Something that we had not done for many years prior to even getting at the lab is changing the scheme of our larger databases. And we did this for the first time recently for inventory, specifically to enable all kinds of new inventory features. One that we're working on right now is the ability to associate a thumbnail image with an inventory item. And so you can imagine, being in the viewer and, deciding to take a folder and be able to browse that folder by images as opposed to by names. So we have a project viewer actually shipping on this next week. So we're eager to kind of get some feedback and see how people play with this.
Oh, good to know. So the next question is a little bit of a frustration point for a lot of residents. When will the show friends online function be back in full working order?
Oh man.
Putting you on the spot.
This is a little bit of a black eye for us, right? And so I want to first say we hear you, right? And as a social world, obviously one of the primary things we want to know is where our friends are,
Right.
and whether they're online. And so this sucks, and we're sorry. That said, we have several fixes that should make things better rolling out with the next several server releases that are coming up. And I don't think the first one is going to be a complete fix, but it should make things better. I'm hoping maybe the next one will be an almost complete fix. Fingers are crossed. In the meantime, there's still a workaround that works. It is imperfect, and hence it's a workaround. But if you log into an empty region as the first location, this should help clear things up. And if it doesn't work, log out and log into another empty-ish region. It doesn't need to be completely empty. It just should be not very busy. Sandboxes, for example, are a good location to start at.
Okay, that's good to know. So over the next few weeks, you mean the server roles? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so question from the LSL scripting community. Are there any updates coming to LSL at all?
So we have a strong advocate on the engineering team, really pushing for a greater pace of improvement and innovation in the area of scripting. Now, what I'll say is we regularly make small improvements to LSL. Things such as new functions that work with link set data, for instance, is something that we're about to roll out. We do want to do more, though. We want to do more complicated things like adding language features. I'm talking about a new map type language, for instance. So I think there's ambition there. We just have to figure out how to work it into our schedule.
That's good to know. Will the future SL platform continue to be fully accessible to Mac users?
Absolutely. We remain dedicated to maintaining support for Mac. I will say that that support tends to lag our Windows product. And, we're aware of performance issues on Mac. We're aware that there are problems on Mac. I think things will work on Mac, but it won't always be, the features will probably work better on Windows for a while. I had heard a rumor that running Second Life on Wine ran faster than our current viewer. So, there is that too. So we're looking at different things, but as far as are we abandoning Mac support? No, we're not.
Okay. So we've seen many updates to Second Life's visuals over the years, but are there any updates planned for Second Life's audio in the future? For example, it would be nice to be able to upload audio clips in stereo instead of just mono.
Yeah, well, we have been discussing all kinds of improvements for content creators. Audio has not been one where we've given it too much thought, and I think it deserves some more thought. So I appreciate this question. I will absolutely bring this back to my team as a great suggestion, and we'll see where that goes.
And I just wanted to add on that we've had multiple conversations about this in the past. Also, curiously, with with high fidelity engineers joining our team, there is quite a bit of interest in high quality audio, and so we've been having conversations about the audio clips as well as other improvements that we could do. There's just nothing very concrete on the roadmap right now because, shockingly, we're not actually a team of 1,000 people.
Right. Hopefully one day we'll see.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the plan.
So, okay, talking about the plan, where do you see Second Life 10 years from now? Grumpy, you want to go first?
Everywhere.
Yay!
Seriously though, I think the natural progression of Second Life is more platforms, more of a companionship, meaning that it is a companion to your everyday, so that you're not tethered to the desktop experience only. And I think the availability of Second Life on more and more platforms will actually change the way that we and our future residents interact with it and think about it. Maybe some things we'll be nostalgic about, and we'll be sitting here 10 years from now going, kids today, get off my lawn. Remember when you had to be on desktop to be on Second Life? People just don't take it seriously today. But at the same time, I think that there's something really special here, and there are a lot more people that will enjoy experiencing it and building it together with us in the future.
Excellent. How about you, Mojo?
Well, I definitely see Second Life thriving 10 years from now. It's amazing that 20 years on, its community is healthy, vibrant. There's still innovation going on in the product. I think all that really positions it pretty well to say that 10 years in the future, we're going to be thriving just as much. I definitely see Second Life growing as it moves on to new devices, as introduced to new communities. Certainly, we talked about VR and other innovations. This whole idea of expressing oneself and getting to creators is one that I think will extend well into the future.
I love hearing that. That's excellent. So, at the risk of starting a war, my last question for both of you is Second Life a game? Grumpity.
Okay.
No. Yes. Maybe. Second Life is not a game, but we do take ourselves too seriously sometimes.
Right.
And we actually, Strawberry, we just had an offsite, and we had this conversation at the offsite where we were saying, maybe this should not be such a sacred topic anymore. Maybe this should not be a holy war kind of subject. We are many things to many people. And one of the things I've discovered over all this time I've spent in the cell is that it is so many different things to different people. And to some people, it's a game. And to some people, it is equivocally not.
Right.
And I think that's okay, right? My heckles aren't going to go up anymore when somebody says Second Life is a game, and that is a commitment I'm making.
Good to hear, because I feel the same. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. How about you, Mojo? What do you think?
Mojo should now say it is definitely not a game. It's a strong position.
No, Grumpity, I completely, my position. I completely agree with you. By itself, it's not a game. Like if you come in, it's not like there's some hero's journey or something to guide you into some sort of achievement-based experience. There's certainly a lot of technology and concepts borrowed from games in Second Life. I really don't mind. I mean, I'm the newcomer here, but I don't mind when people call it a game. But I do try to set new people's expectations when coming in. You know, there's lots and lots of game-like experiences that can be had, but even cooler, it's a platform where you can build your own game-like experiences. And so I think it's a silly debate, honestly.
Right. Doesn't matter. But that's great. Thank you so much for
I know you
sharing.
get flames on that.
I know. It's going to start a war. Let's hope. But I wanted to give you and Grumpity a chance to say anything, any last words for our viewers. If you have anything to say, Mojo, you want to go first? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. Just that I love being here. You know, 2 years on, it has been such a thrill to you know, every day I learn something new about Second Life I didn't know, and it always makes me feel more amazed at just what has been built. And so, just super proud of all that's come before, and super eager to just build on this great achievement.
Love it. How about you, Grumpity?
I just wanted to remind our residents that they do have pitchforks in their library, and if they want to take them out, they should point them at Mojo and not me. Also, on a more
Please.
serious note, I agree. I think, you know, working here and being a part of this world is an incredibly humbling experience and a personal growth for me, both as a human, I think, and hopefully as a professional. And I am so grateful for this opportunity and for this world that we take care of, and for this garden that we have the pleasure of tending and
Right.
the honor of tending, frankly. I'm grateful for my coworkers, and I am absolutely humbled by our community.
I agree. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you, Mojo and Grumpity, for being here. I know you guys are really busy, and I appreciate you taking the time to come and answer the community these questions. Thank you to our viewers for watching. Stay tuned for more Lab Gap specials at SL20B the rest of the week, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. It's been so much fun.